Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm back, and this time I wanted to talk about some things that I discussed in my live stream earlier. So, the topic of that live stream was about what do we do when this system falls? What's next? What's the next step? And it was interesting because I just found this article. It's not about Applebee's specifically, but it's about these restaurant chains that have agreed to drop the use of agreements, these no poach agreements that prevent workers from finding higher paying jobs at other locations of the same chain, according to Washington State's Attorney General. So what that means is a no poach agreement means that if you work at Applebee's or Church's Chicken or any of these other fast food restaurants, like let's say you work at Church's Chicken on Western and Rosecrans, and you want to work at the one that's on, I don't know, Beverly Boulevard, that's 20 miles away, because that's closer to your house. Well, it used to be that you couldn't do that. It was hard for you to do that, and a lot of employees didn't know they have the option to even request that, because those agreements were only privy to the proprietors, the franchisee at these restaurants. But now they want to make it so that these employees can move from place to place within the same company. Maybe you move from one location on Pennsylvania Avenue, and you move to J Street and or L Street in DC, for instance, and at the second location maybe you get more overtime, maybe you can make more money there. So it used to be they would stop you from doing that, and now they're going to permit people to do that. So they're doing this so they can prevent future lawsuits. That's what I'm reading from this. And this is not the only article. This was published August 22nd. Of course, I'll leave it in the description box. But you can see the list of companies: Applebee's, Church's Chicken, Five Guys, IHOP, Jamba Juice, Little Caesars, Panera Bread, Sonic, Arby's, Auntie Anne's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Carl's Jr., aka Hardee's, Cinnabon, Jimmy John's, McDonald's, and so forth. So according to the Attorney General in Washington State, he said this change would affect more than 15,000 restaurant locations that the 8 chains have around the country. Now, there's also a thing down here that says the no poach provisions are not signed by the workers themselves, but by the owners of each franchise's location in agreements with corporate headquarters. So this is not, like I said, this is not even something that the workers know exists until now. And this is not a new story. It's been going on for a while. If I even go here and click on CNN Money, this was published 2018. This is July 12th, and they published this on CNN Money, where they discuss 7 fast food chains that agreed to end the no poach rules. At that time, of course, you have Arby's, Cinnabon, and McDonald's, which were the higher, well-known restaurants that have agreed to do this. And this is just in Washington State, as far as I know. And they're going to try to set a precedent here and then move it on throughout the rest of the country. Now, and this article from July, they say this would affect 25,000 restaurants nationwide. The previous article said it would affect 15,000. That's a more recent article from today. So the number of restaurants affected is going down. And what I also want people to recognize is that if you're a low-wage worker, as they state here, a low-wage worker, you cannot be comfortable with them allowing you to go from restaurant to restaurant and continue working. And why do I say that? I say that because, let me go back here. From The Atlantic, This is the January-February 2018 issue. They talk about robots will transform fast food. The subtitle is, that might not be a bad thing. That might not be a bad thing according to who, I wonder. And this was, they don't have an exact date of when it was published. I could try to find that. But yeah, and here they talk about how they have robots that have a lot of work to do, and they replace the humanoids, replace humans, and they call humans humanoids, but they replace the humans. The robots, androids will replace humans. So just because you're able to go from company to company does not mean that the company you go to will have a job waiting for you that is consistent, that is a job you can be there for a long time. And I know that Radical Sister has talked about this. She's live right now discussing another topic, but she's talked about how these robots are replacing people. They have even Ann has talked about it. There's a robot called Flippy. I'll do a video about that. There's another robot who makes pizza for people. They've noticed a high growth rate in number of satisfied customers with the robot versus the humans. Robots don't have to take days off. They don't have children to deal with. They don't have attitude. They don't have to sleep. They don't have to eat. They don't need lunch breaks or anything like that. They don't have to work on a shift. They can work 24/7. And so I think it's important for us to recognize that all these companies are consolidating their power, and their plan is to ultimately, sadly, to have a world like this picture to replace us. And I'll come back to you with another video showing you more evidence of this possibly occurring in the future. But you all let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll holler at you later on. Have a great day.